Okay, on domestic violence, because of the confidentiality issue, if folks are unwilling to provide the name, obviously, and social security number for these folks, please get date of birth and these minimal requirements that we're getting. And assure them that, again, this isn't anything that can be tracked back to them. We are really just trying to unduplicate the data. And so please ask them for at least that. So last time when we went to shelters that were not participating in HMIS, what we asked them for domestic violence, if they were unwilling to give us everything, was we gave them a form where everything was aggregated. It was already totaled, including the subpopulation data. So we knew if any of these, mostly women were veterans or had a substance abuse issue. This time we still want the individual data on each one. Okay, so again, one piece of paper for every person. Okay, even if we don't get every single thing that we would ideally like. Please get them to fill out the minimum pieces. Okay, so at least the date of birth, and then certainly for everybody the demographic information, and that will help Charles make sense of the data for unduplication. Okay, the reason that we're collecting 9 through 12 is to start quantifying the time the person is homeless. This helps us understand chronic homelessness. We do ask for the last permanent address in South Carolina as the birth state and county in 13 and 14. These are, political questions to some extent. People, I don't know about y'all, but we get beat up all the time because we're serving your homeless. I don't know what y'all are doing in Greenville, but we get them all. So we're serving yours. That's right. So we get a lot of grief for that. So we do want to understand, where these folks are from. It helps us understand the movement of people who are homeless. So it's just more about the experience. And then, of course, critical is that we get the subpopulation data. Okay, now in terms of information for the coordinators for the count, a couple of tips. If you're going to ask a shelter to be completing the forms, there's no reason to wait until the 29th. Get these forms to them early. They can actually start completing the data and have them all prepared, and then on the night of the 29th, cull through those people who might have left, do the 2 or 3 that are newly there as of the 29th, and it's all done in advance. And they have plenty of time to look at it, review it, make sure that it's accurate. Okay? Please, please brief the folks that are actually doing the forms. I think that we, kind of live and breathe this stuff, sadly, that we take a lot of things for granted. And I don't think that all this stuff is really obvious to everybody, even other people who are working in homelessness. So please give them some orientation to the forms. Make sure you go through all the questions and they understand what's being asked and why. And make sure that you try to motivate them to do these things as completely as possible. Because sometimes, again, it's like, these are busy people. These are you. Okay? These are busy people. And so they might not really feel compelled to do one more thing. If you can help them understand that, help us help you, maybe, and you give them the time to do it, it might work better. Okay, make sure that you get contact information from these folks in case you need to go back, especially with Form A, with people who are residents of a shelter. You actually probably could get some cleanup data on it if there are things that are not clear, that are incomplete, or that you can't read. So, if you get these forms back from them quickly, review them quickly, you could actually get this stuff better completed if you need to. And then what we're trying to persuade people around this year is that we don't sit on this data. And one of the things I want you all to be completely persuaded about is that this is confidential data. We are asking for lots of information about these folks. They're vulnerable people. This is intrusive in many ways. And so we need to really respect the confidentiality of this. So please train your folks that when they go out and do these things, that they don't have this confidential data sitting in the back seat of their car for a week, not respecting, what we've actually collected from these folks. Get the forms reviewed, get them to your county coordinators, or not your county, but your coalition coordinators, and get this stuff turned over to ORS as soon as possible. That's to help respect the confidentiality, but it's also to help get this thing moving, because we will start data entry right away. We are not waiting until the 12th. As soon as we get data, if it's the royal we, because it won't be me, but as soon as we get the data, we will be entering it, okay? Okay, now when you send the data, especially those of you that are not in town and that don't have the time to hand it to the lovely folks at ORS, please send it certified. Again, we need to know that it went, that it left you, and that it arrived. And we need, again, because it's confidential information, to have some protections around the sending of this. And as someone whose IRS check never made it this year to IRS, I can tell you that if you don't send a certified, you have no proof that this actually happened. So it needs to be in the mail to ORS by the 20th. February 20th. Just tattoo it in your brain so this is drop dead for all the forms. So I'll be saying this again when we go over Form B, but that is drop dead. Get it in the mail, get it certified, but do not request a signature on the delivery end, because they don't have time to come and sign for every single package that comes in, okay? Certified, keep your receipts, but do not ask for a delivery signature, okay? Okay, and it's Carla Sadler, who is receiving all of these things. So this address is everywhere. It's in all of your forms, and it's also in the training packets, so there should be no mystery about where this is going. Okay? Don't send it to me. Don't send it to Mike. Make sure that you get it to the right people. Okay? Okay, let's do a practice.